Indie games play a critical role when it comes to gaming in general. While titans of the industry repeatedly dip their toe into the same wells, grinding out sequel after sequel to blockbuster success, the indie scene is constantly pushing boundaries. Oftentimes with proof of concept mechanics or exploring premises the larger companies aren't willing to touch. When an indie game blows up, it can have a huge impact on the overall landscape. Games like Undertale, Stardew Valley, and Hollow Knight have either established new genres or revolutionized how future games in their genre are made. It's because of the aforementioned reasons that I am always on the lookout for brand new indie hits on the Nintendo Switch. And when I heard about Animal Well through the indie grapevine, I had to give it a shot. Even though I knew next to nothing about it, the reviews were piling up, each one praising it as a wonderful and memorable challenge with amazing art, a must-play for any gamer. After all the reviews, I was hyped, even though I didn't know the people behind the game. Wait, Donkey from Shrek made this game?
In the morning, I'll have the spaghetti and meatballs.
In all seriousness, while Donkey did publish the game, it was made by one guy entirely, Billy Basso, which is super impressive on its own. I don't play many Metroidvanias, but I was curious. All this info alone, along with the great visuals, I bought the game and decided to stream it. I will say this may be a game you want to go into yourself without having any prior knowledge to it. So, potential spoiler warning ahead for anyone who wants a pure experience of this game on their own. Spoiler warning aside, what are my thoughts on Animal Well? Well, watering hole. Let's find out. You start the game like any indie title, a blob in a strange looking area. You can run, you can jump, you can explore. You can't attack. So maybe this game won't involve violence. There's no text, no cutscenes, and no narration at all. Everything is told entirely through environmental storytelling and gameplay, which I honestly kinda like. It makes things feel organic, and you discover a lot of things on your own, which is something Animal Well really likes you doing. A lot. Almost too much at points, but we'll get to that later. Right now, the most notable thing I've noticed is this art style. It's incredible what the dev can convey with pixels. You feel like this is a vibrant subterranean environment that plays by its own rules. It's incredibly unique, dark, and atmospheric. I was captivated by the pixelated, mysterious, otherworldly vibe. Everything is beautiful, but oftentimes, the most dangerous things in nature are often the prettiest. And that's no exception here. Just look at this water. I don't know how they captured damp so well. Seriously, the art style in this game nails everything. Look at how this water drips. Look at those vines. The animal statues. What is that?
It's a giraffe!
Nightmare fuel aside, your goal is to find your way through the Animal Well, solving puzzles and dealing with enemies. Each room is an intricately connected maze, where you have to do some platforming, use an item to get through, hit a switch, and sometimes a combination of all those things. Each room feels specifically designed to give you a creative challenge. Many, in true Metroidvania fashion, are unpassable until you unlock the different region's tool. This game doesn't hold your hand either. It'll give you context clues, sure, but usually you're left scratching your head on how to figure out each puzzle. Let's add no tutorials to the list of no's. Nope. It's 100% up to the player to figure it out. So get used to jumping off everything, face-planting walls, randomly using items, screaming helplessly into the void. This game loves trolling you with hidden passageways. Look at this! Is there a hidden switch, or am I going to plummet several screens? Oh well, must be nothing here. Oh wait! I just needed the power of bubbles to reach it! Come on! I've never seen a game do this more than Animal Well. I feel like I really have to hug the walls sometimes. This is me hugging the walls. I don't feel the love. You encounter many different items along your journey that assist you along the way. You get firecrackers, which you use to scare off spirits. It's super effective! You get a slinky, which you can drop down to hit switches, a yo-yo to reach awkward placing buttons, a frisbee you can not only hit things with, but ride around on, whee! A flute where you can not only play melodies to wake up animals, but also teleport to certain places. This one gave me some Zelda vibes. And yes, like you've already seen, a bubble blower, where you get to be a bubble blowing baby, and we know how to weed them out. I really like how these are power-ups you don't see in everyday games. Who would have thought of a slinky to drop it down and hit switches, or riding around on a frisbee bouncing off walls? And who would have thought to even use these items back to back? I'll tell you, that's the mind of Basso. He gets creative points for sure. If I didn't mention it earlier, you find out quickly how low on the food chain you actually are. And suddenly, this wondrous setting adopts a sense of prevailing dread. The animals look pretty basic, but boy do they make an impact. Maybe these tools can help us out. Ow. Oh god, it stretches. What happens if I remove this?
Here's Johnny.
Bad dog! Bad dog! Oh hey, look, a kangaroo. Surely you won't hurt. Oh god! Please, why? Why is every animal after me? Oh look, chinchillas. You don't want to kill me, right? Oh, thank God. Chinchillas are cool. They just want a hug. Oh, buddy, come here. We both need this. Here, buddy. Want to see my yo-yo? I'm a broken man. Animal Well definitely encourages experimentation. You end up trying many different ways to try solving each room's puzzles. And while you may die, you can periodically save your game by answering a phone? Huh, I wonder if anyone actually answers. It also auto-saves pretty easily. Save close enough to the problem room and you can be right back at it, literally flinging everything you got at the walls. Hey look, there are also collectibles. Scattered throughout the game are all sorts of interesting sounding eggs that you can collect to take to this giant creepy looking peacock statue. I'm bringing you eggs, please don't hurt me. Collect enough of them and you get access to new tools that help you out. Outside of that, I don't see a purpose for them. Oh geez, I'm getting flashbacks to other egg hunts. Other than those tools, this is pretty light with collectibles. There are 64 eggs in total, and some of these egg names are pretty silly. Forbidden egg? What did you do? But yes, creativity and out-of-the-box experimentation is the name of the game of Animal Well. I thought the name of the game was Animal. You are going to want to try multiple tools to assist you along the way. And honestly, when you get all the tools, they do offer multiple solutions. However, some rules require that you have specific tools, and if you don't have them, you're going to have to turn back. This does fall into a negative I've noticed a lot of Metroidvanias can have: backtracking issues. Sometimes you do have to go back because you reached a dead end. It's important to organically explore it all, but I kind of wish there was some sort of fast travel with the telephones. It's not too big of a deal because the flute does work as a fast travel device, but only if you get to the room that lets you access the hub. I'm kind of torn on the map too. On the one hand, it's really detailed, and I love the look. But on the other hand, it can be overwhelming to navigate. I can kind of tell there's a new area I need to go to, but with so much between me and that spot, it can feel daunting. And that's if you know where to go. The game is open-ended. Almost too open-ended. A lot of times you explore without a line of dialogue or anything, but there were points I reached a dead end and had no clue whatsoever. It often felt like I was wandering around areas without any goal in mind. I get wanting the player to figure it out on their own, but maybe a hint system of where to go next would have been appreciated, even if it was something that could be turned on or off in the menu. Maybe something like Metroid Prime, where after a while the game would highlight an area of the map to give you an idea of where to go next. It wasn't perfect and it happened a bit too often, but it was something and gave me an idea of where to go, instead of just wandering for hours guessing at the next thing to do. And while I'm at it, this game can be difficult, and sometimes it can feel like the cheap kind of difficulty. You have to make some precise jumps and pixel-perfect moves, and it can get very frustrating. And it really doesn't help when the game makes you do these complicated platforming sequences. Some that take a good minute or two, only for you to make a mistake and have to do it all over again. I'm looking at you, seahorse! A lot of these rooms really got on my nerves at points, and led me to put the game down in general. I don't mind a challenge, but after a while, I just needed to stop and move on. Yes, I will admit, I didn't beat the game, but I did spend quite a lot of time on it. Solving puzzles, exploring around, avoiding animals, riding chinchillas, and more. Do I think it's the perfect new indie hit that's going to change the landscape of gaming as we know it? No, but I still think it's a dang good game. I haven't played a lot of Metroidvanias, so maybe that's why I'm not the biggest fan of it. But this game still has a lot going for it, and I can really see the appeal. It looks great, it's extremely open-ended and heavily uses environmental gameplay as a storytelling mechanic, and it is satisfying to finally solve each puzzle as you go. You can tell Basso put a lot of love into this game. It's finely crafted and deserves a lot of praise. But for me, it still has its flaws, being a bit too open-ended, and the moments of cheap difficulty frustrated me too much to keep plugging away at it. I hope to go back in the future and finish it one day. It has piqued my interest for other Metroidvanias too. Maybe I can finally get into a 2D Metroid or Hollow Knight. Animal Well is a good game. I just put my expectations a bit too high for it. If you like Metroidvanias, interesting platforming, or super atmospheric areas with great designs, Animal Well is well done on the Nintendo Switch. I say give it a try. Whew. I'm glad that's over. I don't have to see another animal again. Wait a minute. There's an animal in my house! Woof. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you like what you saw, hit the like button, and be sure to check out my other videos too. Special thanks to all these amazing people for helping me out with the video. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Also an extra special thanks to my Patreon patrons, including Mantelferox and Savacom. You help make every video possible, and you all mean so much to me. If you'd like to join our Patreon, the link is in the description below, along with my Twitch and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good night.